Hello America, this is Don Coleman. This is the American Patriot Now program. Thanks for tuning in. Well, everybody knows what's happening in Arizona. It's a big deal. It's really not a big deal. But the left and the crazies on the left are making it a big deal. They're trying to say that everybody's racist and all of a sudden everybody hates Mexicans. And it's absolute lie. It is nothing but left-wing propaganda. And I heard an interview today on the radio, and I forgot his name, I apologize, but it's Alan Grayson, I think was his name, a congressman. And he had the balls to say in this interview that the people that don't like what Arizona did, the people, excuse me, that don't like the Arizona bill, these are people, believe it or not, this is what he said, these are people that still haven't gotten over the loss in the Civil War. That they were white Christian Republicans that were still lamenting from the loss in the Civil War. Now, how out of touch is this guy? I don't know how old he is, but I know he's not older than me. And to be honest with you, I'm just not real clear on the Civil War thing. I didn't happen to be alive then. But apparently this guy's a scholar on it, which he's not. He's a complete idiot to say something like that. And now you have these people that are comparing it to Nazi Germany and saying that we're Nazis. Do you know what an insult that is to the Jewish people? Do you even know how the Germans determined if somebody was a Jew during the war and before the war when they started to round them up? They made them pull their pants down to see if they were circumcised. In broad daylight, in the middle of the square. They didn't ask them for papers. They asked them what their name was, and they made them pull their pants down. Now, that's not happening in Arizona, okay? And then the other insult is they're saying, well, let's just take them back to their own country. No, I don't think that's what the Germans did, guys. The Germans took them to death camps and murdered them. And you want to compare that to stopping somebody that has committed a crime and asking them for their driver's license is as far, it's as close to insanity as you can get. Now, I read the bill today, and you can go online, and it's available pretty much everywhere. Read the bill before you open your mouth. All right? It's very simple. This bill mimics the government, federal law. That's all it is. It is not a new bill. It is not a new law. It's a law that has been in effect for some 40 plus years. The only difference is now we're going to enforce it. That's it. Now, all this lies, and that's what they are. They're lies. Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, the mayor from San Francisco, the mayor from LA, I don't even know how they sleep with themselves. And President Obama to boot, that moron. They have no idea what they're talking about, or they're bold-faced liars. And if you want my opinion, they're both. They're complete idiots that don't know what they're talking about, and they're liars. When you get Obama saying, well, you know, if you're just walking down the street and you got your children with you and you happen to be a Mexican American, well, they they can stop you for your papers. And I just don't think that's right. Liar. That's not what the bill says. That's against the Constitution. You can't racial profile. Now, if you've been watching the show since the conception, or at least maybe the last 4 or 5 shows, you know that I'm an independent. I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat. I resigned the Republican Party and became an independent. And the most important thing to me is the Constitution. And I would never tell you or anybody else to do anything that was a violation of the Constitution. And this is not a violation of the Constitution. And I'm going to go on record, depending on, well, I don't know what kind of liberal crazies are going to be on the court, but it's going to win. It's going to win in court. Okay? The bill says simply this: if you are stopped for a violation of the law, and during that stop, the police have a right to ask you for your driver's license, just like they do now. If you're Rich Whitey speeding down the street, you get pulled over by the cops, what do they ask you for? Your registration and your driver's license. Well, I don't see anybody raising holy hell about that. Because that's the law. So that's what they're going to do with the illegal aliens. If they stop them for another crime, they're going to ask them for your driver's license. They don't have it, then they're going to call ICE. And they're going to see if they're here legally. And if they are, guess what? That's the end of it. And if they're not, they get shipped back, which is exactly what should happen. Okay? Now, I know that this immigration thing is very volatile, okay? I'm not insensitive to it. And I have to say that 98% of the emails that I've been sent have been positive, and I appreciate that. But the problem is, the people on the right can disagree with the people on the left and just disagree with them. The people on the left, if they disagree with the people on the right, they have to hate them. They have to slander them. They have to call them racist and make up all other kinds of names. Nazi. They actually hate you. Not because you're a bad person, but because you disagree with their position. And I got an email, a couple of them actually, from this guy's name's Glow Range. Supposedly he's a Mexican, he lives in Europe. Calling me so many F-bombs and faggot and MF this and MF that, and just foul, nasty words. Why? He doesn't even know me. But he's a typical person on the left. They have to hate you because you don't see things their way. We're better than that. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you about 30 seconds of a clip that my buddy showed me from Maywood, California in 2006. And this is what was a demonstration that turned into a mini riot of Mexican protesters protesting in Maywood, California. They jumped on the post office, took down the American flag, stomped on it, and put up the Mexican flag while the police stood there and did nothing. So take a look at this and we'll pick it up on our next show. This is Don Coleman, the American Patriot Now.
They took over a federal building. That's a post office.